we'll try to uh, push some of the jars into the jfrog repository, and then we will discuss about the project also, like mini project. We'll just implement the mini project alone. Okay, so this is the plan for today. Let's do start here. Okay, so the last time what we have done is we just created a couple of users, the repositories. This is our jfrog instance of a cloud. We did not install the on-premises of the jfrog. We use the cloud as a the SaaS based one, and which is an enterprise level also. It has all the features, and we are in almost the 5th day of using it. And then we have created a repositories. uh, these are the some of the 2 repositories we have created. Maven, Jenkins, local, under the local and remote. You can create the repositories anywhere. So once you have created the repositories, we have to go to the artifacts. This is where whatever the repositories that we have created, right? These things will be located here. If you see here, this is the repository name, this is the repository URL, and all the stuff here. Okay, so make sure you have a proper jfrog configurations. Okay, so once you have a jfrog configurations, once you have set it up the jfrog, either it could be on premises or it could be a SaaS based, but the UI looks the same thing. Okay, just go to the artifactories and repositories, create a repositories like this, and then come to the artifactories, and there you find any, you just click on here and nothing you won't find here. Okay, this is one thing. And the next thing is you have to install jfrog client, meaning as I mentioned earlier, right? So there are a couple of things here. This is your jfrog instance. It could be on premises or SaaS based, anything. You would find 2 things here. The server ID, which is nothing but your instance name. Okay, when you create or when you install the jfrog in your machine, or when you create a SaaS, right, you will get this information. And the next one is the URL of your jfrog server. These are the main important, of course. Username and these are the username and password. So these are for the creds. Okay, so meaning these are the credentials, these are the basic information we required for us. Okay, now let's see where do we have here. Okay, so the thing is, my instance name is Naren DevOps 970. This is my instance name which I got while creating jfrog instance. If you are installing on your own machine, or you know or any of the SaaS or any of the EC2 machine, you would get that instance name as your service ID. Okay, so that is one thing. And the second one is the what we have done here. Okay, the second one is the jfrog URL. And if you go to any of the artifacts, for example, if you go to this repository, this is your jfrog URL, https narendevops 90.jfrog.io. Under artifactory is the artifactory is the, till this path is the my URL of jfrog. And if you ask me specific URL to the repository, so at the end you'll get the repository name will be get appended. Okay, this is another piece of information we required. And obviously we required a username and password. For that, what you can do is you go to the same instance, click on here the profile icon, and then click on new user. You would get this information. For example, user management, what is happening? Okay, users, and you can click on create a new user and then provide a roles which required to that particular user, and then provide a password, and then required enable multi-factor authentication if required, otherwise just leave it. Okay, like this I have already created a one users. So this is called yeah, this is one user, and my username, email id, and the access levels and the password, everything I have given. Since I have given admin permissions, I do have either. Okay, this is the credentials here. Okay, and the next one is, okay, to access this, okay, to access this Jenkins URL, I mean, sorry, this JFrog URL, you required a couple of things. I mean, there are a couple of ways to access this JFrog instance. One is through Maven based, or Docker based, or Gradle based. Meaning, for example, if you want to push on a Maven related artifactory, which means a job to JFrog ID, there are a specific commands to upload that particular artifactory into jfrog instance or jfrog artifactory. Or if you want to upload a docker images, you require different steps for the docker related artifacts to be uploaded. Similarly gradle, similarly npm. Okay, this is one way. And another way is jfrog cli. Okay, another way is jfrog rest apis. Okay, another way is jfrog CI/CD plugins. For example, if our CI/CD tool is a Jenkins, we do have a JFrog plugins or Artifactory plugins or something else. If we have Bitbucket as a Bitbucket pipeline as our CI/CD, right? We do have a respective plugins. Similarly, if we are using GitLab pipelines, we do have a couple of plugins for that. Okay, not plugins, I could say these are the not actions also. Yeah, it names as the same thing, but we'll call in a different way. So these are the ways that we can interact with the JFrog artifactory with the different ways. Okay, if you ask me, the underneath of this guy, I mean, either this part, what is this, either this part or this part, these two indirectly using jfrog cli only. Okay, the rest api would a different way. I mean, that's a different way of doing it. Meaning, whenever you want to work with either maven based towards artifactory or plugins related artifactories, you have to install one more thing called jfrog cli. Okay, this way we would be able to work with other two also here. Okay, this, please remember that. What does it happen? Okay, okay, so this is one thing here. So now the point is, I hope you understand what I'm saying. So first you have to make sure the jfrog cli to be installed. Either you can independently work with the jfrog cli, or either you install jfrog cli and then work with the maven. Either you install the jenkins related plugin, before installing that you need to install the jfrog cli. So these many ways of you have to work with that. Okay, now let's install the jfrog cli. Install jfrog cli in ubuntu 22.04. Okay, so now this is what. Okay, 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 why they are saying Docker? Why they are suggesting to install the Docker? Okay, they are downloading, they are running the Artifactory repository, running the jfrog with the systemd. I don't want this part. I don't want this part because they have configured their local Artifactory repository. Okay. In our case, we are using a SaaS based one. Okay. What is that? Okay. Okay. So what is this is get CLI. This would be the right one, I could say. Okay. Now they have given a command how to deal with the different voices. If we want to go with the dbein based, meaning this one, apt install package manager, we need to install this one. Okay. Yeah, 64-bit. Okay, this is one thing. And let's keep this aside. jfrog CLI upload map and artifacts. Okay, once we install, let's try to upload something to make sure our things is working fine or not here. Okay, these are the arguments we will see, and then we'll upload this. See, they have given example. Upload a file called foggy.js to this repository. That's it. And we have to give with basically we have to authenticate basically. Okay, so the authenticate, we have to pass couple of parameters. We will see in one by line. Okay, one by one. So one thing, first we should be using authenticating also. The authentication should be to authenticate yourself using an access token. Either you configure access token once using this command, which means it will ask us to provide this. Anyway, we'll try other ways also here. Meaning, as I mentioned here, right? If we want to authenticate with the username, first we should be authenticate, right? Either we can authenticate with the username and password. Another way is access tokens. So this is not the right way of doing it, meaning we can't configure any username and password. The best way of authenticating is creating creating access tokens and provide that access tokens these clients and then able to access. This is the way these guys also suggesting. Otherwise, simply we can provide a hyphen access token, or you need to provide hyphen user and hyphen password. Okay, so this is what it has been doing it. Now let's first of all install this guy. Okay, so I'm going to the jfrog directly here, and then yeah, I've already logged in here. If you see here, this is where we have stopped last class. Was it? Okay, see, all the steps has been added and one way of doing it. What does it happen is, this is what happened, meaning while adding, before this I was doing something, so that's why it is failed. Okay, so if you see here, if you just copy this and then open a notepad, and then there are multiple commands in it. This is, if you see, this is just, I'm deleting it and I'm pasting it here. So this all everything they have pasted in. If you see here, what they are doing is they are adding some JFrog related releases binaries. Okay, the repository, and the next one is they are adding the same information in the apt source list, which means to update. When you do apt-get update, right, it will download or it will know where the jfrog related artifactories are presented. This is the place, I mean, this is the repository releases.jfrog.io. And then after that, they are just directly installing the jfrog CLI v2 and then jfrog intro. They are just executed here. Okay, so this is what happened. It's automatically downloaded, updated, and everything. Finally, it looks like it is executed. jf, this guy is already saying our jfrog CLI is 2.4.62. Okay, and if you already have a jfrog environment, run the jfc add command to set the connection details. If you don't have any problem, so they are asking us to set up using jf setup. This is enough. So what I'm gonna do is jf intro. I mean, same thing. Now jf. Okay, this is the version. Okay, the jfrog CLI is also similarly like. Just 1 minute. Okay, jfrog version is also similarly. I mean, jfrog jf command is also jfrog CLI command, which exactly like a Docker command, which we do, right? Similarly, the same way. Now, what we do is let's set up the configuration. jf, as for these guys said, right? jc have add, and this is it. Let's see, server unique identifier. Okay. Now this is my unique identifier, which is nothing but the server ID, jfrog platform URL. Okay, awesome. This is what they're saying. Select save and continue. Oh, okay. Okay, username or password or user based token. What I can do is, of course, currently I do have a jfrog username and passwords because I do have already. Otherwise, what I need to do is I can create an access token, generate an access token for Narendra user token. Username is I want Narendra service select all by default. Don't generally we should be giving a 1 month or time. Create a I don't want a reference token. Now generate token. This is the generate token. We should be using it all. This is the token ID also. Let's note down at this one. Oh my god, this is my token ID, and this is the token ID, and this is the token completely. Now I have copied and same thing. Let's see the paste. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, now what this guy is saying is yes, I want a username and password. I can go with that. Otherwise, if I want access token, I can go with that. I can try any of this now. So let me know access token here. Access token should be copy this. Is the Artifactory reverse proxy configured to client access certificate? No. Okay. Now we have configured everything fine. Now let's do one thing here. As these guys has already been suggested how to work with the uploading things, right? Let's try one thing here. Okay, and now what these guys are saying is they are trying to upload all the tar.cz file to this repository. Okay, this is what these guys are doing. What I'm gonna do is okay, I'll try to upload this shell.sh to one of the repository and see whether my configuration is working or not. Okay, so let's copy and use the same thing here. Okay, R2U, and then the file name. I mean, this jfrtu means this is all the this is the command related to the jfrog CLI. So you don't need to specifically learn majorly because you won't administrate the entire thing. You need to know about the uploading part and downloading part. Okay, so you just need to, for every command, rt will be there by default. Okay, later other commands would be, you know I mean, other commands means the arguments, either u, p, cp. There are a lot of other commands you would be coming. Okay, which depends on the operations that we do here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is shell.sh, and then my repository, let's say my repository could be libs releases. Okay, this is repository path. Okay, now where is this? And then recursive false. So there is an argument which means keep on updating. Recursive means, for example, if my path is, I mean, if my file is a folder, please recursively upload it. If we want, we can do, otherwise we can ignore it. Okay, it has been failed. Let's see, review the logs information. Let's open and see what is the problem here. Okay, so probably I'm assuming the authentication issue, uploading error, failed uploading artifacts, no such host. Okay, why IO is missed here? Okay, did I miss anywhere? Let's configure. Yeah, here is the, I have missed. Let's try the same thing here. So our unique identifier. Okay, let me override this. Over here. Okay, say one access token, be the same access token. No, now let's try the same thing here. Okay, finally succeeded under the libs releases. Now let's open and see, refresh this. See, shell.sh has been presented here. Okay, so if someone want to download your Artifactory, you would be providing this URL. Basically, if it is a Maven project, you would add Maven dependency with this URL. Okay, let me show you here. Maven repository dependency. Okay, so for example, if we want to work with the JDBC related Maven plugin, for example, the Spring JDBC, if you see here, these many ways this guys is supporting. Let me select the version here, and then if it is a Maven related, this is the Maven repository, and this is a group ID, this is a artifact ID, this is how it will download it. Okay, I mean, basically this is where Maven repository has been configured from. They might not been used jfrog, they might have used another artifactory service, but if we want to call their their jar as a dependency to your project, this is how you need to define. Okay, so this particular configuration know how to fetch a repository, how to fetch a jar from this repository of this ID of this version. Okay, so the Maven know how to deal with that. because they have used a different version of a artifactory repository. They may they may not be the they may not be used the artifact jfrog itself, right? Similarly, the same way. Okay, now let's come to this part here. Okay, now let's go back to our diagram here. Now what we have done is jfrog CLI. Since now what we do is we have a Jenkins here. With the Jenkins, we will install one of the plugin called jfrog or artifactory. There we will configure the same thing here. Okay, same thing here, and then we will run a simple Jenkins job, which will compile the Maven project and then upload it to the JFrog. Okay, this way we'll be able to complete at least, I mean, one push to Maven repository. Okay, I mean one artifact to Maven repository. Now let's do this thing. Okay, now first, before coming to the anyway, we have a details of all these. Okay, the server instance ID, JFrog URL, username and password, or the token here. And now next thing is, let's go to our Jenkins here. Now go to the manage Jenkins. One thing, guys, so as always, try to fix these vulnerabilities. What does it mean is, if you don't look at these vulnerabilities, right, at one day you would be having a list of was very huge. So you would be, very hectic work you would be doing. Meaning, what this warning is, you have to update these plugins, especially if you see here, folders plugin has these many vulnerabilities. You have to update it, or you have to downgrade it, or either you have to fix it. You have to do any of these issues. Otherwise, it will be headache for you, because for every day we'll get a lot of updates. If we forget to update, right, we would be facing an issues while bulk updating of the plugins. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the plugins here, and then search for go to the available plugin here. Search for Artifactory. Okay. Okay, these are all Artifactory related plugins. Now, artifact promotions, Slack upload, FTP providers. We don't go as it is, but just 1 minute, guys. Okay, Artifactory. I think I've already installed. Let me go to the plugins again. Plugins here. Go to install plugins. Let me search here. Yeah, here. This is the Artifactory plugin. So I have already installed, I guess, last video. And let me search for the jfrog also. Yeah, jfrog also. Last time I have installed here. And once you have installed, what you need to do is, like in a jfrog CLI, we have configured all the authentication, right? In the here also, you need to configure some credentials. Okay, the credentials are related to the jfrog here. Okay, now go back all the providers types. Security, I think not even security. We go to the system, because this is where we need to configure all the information related here. Okay. Now what I do is, yeah, jfrog related configuration. Okay, jfrog related configuration. One more thing I'm looking at this Artifactory. Okay, fine. We do not have anything related to that. Now the server ID is the same thing, whatever we do have, the unique ID of this. Okay, and where is ours? This one, jfrog platform URL, and this is the one, credentials. What I can do is, since I do not have, either I can add it here. Okay, I need to create a user here. Okay, I think I have already done it here. Let me select this and leave advanced configurations. But okay, now this is the one thing. Save this. Okay. Now let's check what is. Let's take one of our job here. Now let's see. Yeah, here. If you see here, this is one of the Jenkins pipeline. Okay, it is a pipeline script, and there what we were been doing is we were just compiling it, cleaning it, and then building a package. Okay, so now let's rerun this and then see if it is working fine. Then if it is working fine without any issues, we will add the jfrog steps also here. Build now. Now let's see what is happening. Looks like going fine, but we can't say until it is succeeded. Okay, this is unstable, but the build is success. Okay, now what we can do is, of course it is a succeeded, but it is saying unsuccess. What we can do is, we will skip the tests also here. What we do is, we'll remove this and we will skip the test case. Marvin, skip test cases. What you need to do is, yeah, we have to use either, we have to put this way. This is the command, right? Okay. Now let's say, remember guys, they might ask in a question also, what is the difference between save and apply? When you do apply, right? If any of the job is currently running, right? So what does it do is, it will apply on the running job also. But if you just save it, it won't apply on the currently running job. That is the major difference. Okay. Okay, now let's see and see what is happening here. Okay, success. Okay, now when it will mark as unstable means something, I mean, if something has failed, but still we ignored it. So if we do that way, we will be facing an issue. Now, yeah, see this. Since we have added as an artifactory, this is showing you can download directly from here, which automatically download from our Jenkins server. Now, what we need to do is we have to push the same jar into different things here. Now, let's configure Jenkins jfrog jfrog pipeline examples. Let's take a couple of things. So we will see how we can deal with the Jenkins pipeline. Okay. I have an example. They are saying something. Don't use this. We'll be using the. Yeah, here. If you see here, they're adding all this information. If you ask, right, right. So this is one way of doing it. Anyway, we will also do the same thing, but not the. Here they have given example of how to push to an artifactory related to their own server, which is a Kaulala artifactory, and this is the information about that, and this is their this is the dependency. Okay, and 1 minute. Yeah, this is finally how they are pushing into their Docker images. Okay, now just give me 1 minute, guys. Okay, back. Okay, simply they are also doing the similar one. So the information is simply we'll also follow the same thing in the similar Jenkins steps. Go to our previous Jenkins job where it is just pulling some Maven project and then compiling it and then generating a jar. Here, what we do is we will add one more steps here, and then there what we do is sh jfrog CLI, whatever we have given here, right? So this is what we have given here. What we do is jf rt help. Okay, we want to specify the URL of a particular repository also here. So what we do is Control Z here, same thing to upload our thing. Okay, here and the hyphen URL. This is where they have mentioned hyphen URL / artifactory. We don't need to provide of all this also here. Finally, where is this? Okay, here this one, whatever the jar presented under this one, I want to publish under the Jenkins remote here. Okay, let's say let me copy this and then paste into this one. Let's see the example of here also here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is that let me put it this way. Let me do this another stage called artifactory push Under artifactory push, we do have a multiple steps. Let's copy one among them is this one, and I'm commenting out. Or else what I can do is I can comment out this itself. So let's say this. Let's try that. If it works, we will go and try to implement. Okay, now let's do this. Okay, it is failed in the first itself here. Okay, what are this doing is line number 26. What I'm gonna do is configure, go to this line number something. What this guy is saying? Invalid condition steps here. So let's come out of this. Yeah. Okay. Right. Now let's try and save this. Build now. Okay, this is also got failed. Obviously would be the something related to the multiple occurrences of the line number 7, multiple occurrence of the steps section. Where is this? Configure. What will happen here? Okay. So among this, let's give a step and then try. If not, we will include in the before post itself here. Okay, that's obviously has been something related to the same thing. Multiple compilation error exception. What this is going is step is not found, so it should be. Let's do one thing here. Configure. Let's push. Let's delete this and then use comment out this. Let's use here itself. So we don't want to make a complex one. Just go with the first one itself. Then we will see. Build now. Looks like it's going fine. Yeah. Okay. What it is saying? It got failed and then deleted. Why this has got deleted here? Hyphen URL option is mandatory. Okay, while using this. Okay, why we should be doing this? Okay, let's give this. Okay. This guy is also given as a artifactory and access token and everything. But let's see till what that point. Okay. I'm just going to our repository wherever we want to push. I want to push to this repository. Go to our Jenkins job. Configure. And then provide this one. hyphen hyphen URL equal to, let's check this in space. That's that. And then let's remove this also here, because at the end we will be specifying the repository also here. Okay, now let's check if it will take a default access token or username or password. Okay, authentication is required, so we have to use this. Okay, now let's provide a one by one here. The argument that we need to do is access token, here, access token. So what I can do is, for now, of course it is an act, it's not the right way, but still making sure to make this operation works fine. Okay, now let's save and then rerun. Build now. Okay, what this guy is saying is clearly, if you want to use this, this is how you have to use it. That is what it is saying. Guys, so the thing is, when you use this jfrog CLI with this plugin, we have to require all the things. Another way is, based on the plugins, right, we would be writing in a different way. That is also, I'll show you just a minute. Even though this guy has given similarly like this, say, I don't know, this should be work like this way, like how CLI has been configured, but still, let's see what is an error here. Access token, this one, okay, incorrect usage. Flag provided but not defined. What does it mean? Okay, the problem is, I've identified here. What is happening? Configure, go to our thing here, then access token here, just a space, apply it here. Build now. So output here. Okay, did I delete it? Did I? No, right. Then why it is shown? Okay, here again, same error. I think similar one. Hyphen hyphen access token. Okay, which I have been given hyphen hyphen access token. Right. So what did I give then? Let me close this, but not defined. Okay, I have given this, but this guy is saying, but not identified, but not defined hyphen access token. So the thing is, based on the versions also, the syntaxes would be get default. Okay. Okay. I think underscore or hyphen. I forgot again. Let's go to the previous build and see the error again. Underscore token. I have given, I hope, underscore only. Let's go to this build now and go to the 15 console output. Yeah, similarly, hyphen access underscore token. Let's copy and paste this. We have been trying to build the same thing from scratch with the jfrog CLIs. Okay. Now let's. Okay, same, right? Let me check my copied. Okay. Did I miss anything here? Okay, let me check the syntaxes also. Yeah, the access token, the source file, and the destination. Right. Exactly. Now let's understand the same error in a different view. Then we will see. Where is console error here? From hyphen access token. This space incorrect usage flag provided but not defined. Hmm. Same error here. Now what we do is, okay, if you specify the first one used in the argument must be enclosed in the parenthesis. Regular expression, command option. Okay. Hmm. Let's give this way. Copy, rebuild it again, configure the Jenkins pipeline. Here, let's give this, save and apply here. Build now. Console output. Okay, same error. There is some problem with this guy, but don't worry. So flag provided. Okay, let's Google it. Why we should be wasting our time here. jfrog, jfrog, CLI Jenkins. No, this is not our problem. Right. Have you tried the latest version of jfrog? It appears that you are using a older version that is about this rescan. Okay, so meaning I should be using a jfrog Okay. I'm looking for access. Okay. Hyphen access token. Okay, I should be providing hyphen action hyphen token. Okay, this is how I should be using this one. Let's copy this and then try this. Go to this configure. I think whatever we have used, first one is the right one only. Build now. Console output. Okay, good. We gone through that error. Failure while uploading it. Okay. What it is saying is we gone through that error. Could not find a local repository named Marvin Jenkins report to deploy to that. Okay. So what we should be doing is we have to, yeah, see this 404, this one. We click on here. It's trying to find this. Okay, this is one. It has been thrown here. So it is this one. Now let's check what we have mentioned in our command prompt here. Access token, and this is the path. This is the artifactory. Okay. So we have to find, I mean, basically what it is doing is for the Maven, since we have not configured anything on the Maven side, it is throwing an error for that. Okay. So we have to bypass that. Either you have to configure. See. So basically when you do Maven compile, it will automatically do this, right? Through when you do mvn deploy, it will automatically create that one and everything. So here what we should be doing is we should be creating the same thing at the m2 directory, which is settings, I mean settings.xml file, and then create a one id and then provide your username and password. This is one way of doing it. Another way is we need to bypass this. Okay, fail to deploy form.xml. Of course, these guys are saying clearly in a form.xml we should be fixing it, but I want to bypass that part because we are uploading as a normal file, not through a Maven one. Even though it is a Maven repository, we would be doing it. Okay, but let's see. PD, Apache, Maven, conf, settings.xml here. Yeah, this is where we have did all the stuffs here, but still I want to I want to I want to bypass this part. On the Jenkins, it's a local repository. Go to the Jenkins, minus Jenkins. When project configuration should be m2.repository Jenkins is located. No, I don't want to use this way. These guys are saying, please tell to Jenkins server where your configurations are present. Okay. Either you need to configure that way, or now let me do one thing. Just a 1 minute, guys. So here, if you ask me the file name and the repository name. here, and the URL, the file name, and the repository here. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Go to my repositories. Go to my repositories here, and then go to the local here. This is a Maven type. Libs release local, which is a type of Maven, right? What I can go to this, I'll try to push to this repository because it is a local repository of mine. This is the path. Let me rebuild with the different configurations. Yeah. One minute. The artifactory. Yeah, right here. No, where is our things? Okay, now it is saved. Let's build now. Yeah, succeeded finally. But now let's see the difference here. What we have given here is lib releases. The major difference here is while creating a repository, we have created a repository of remote and local here. Now what I do is I'll just extract this and then see what is there. Yeah, under the target, we do have a simple, our jar file here. The major difference here is while creating a repository itself, we have to specify and we have to be careful and we have to be knowing that what kind of a repository it is with the jfrog CLI. Okay, that is one thing which I just understood. Another one is grep repo. Yeah, see this, these many options are there that we can specify to jfrog saying that what kind of a repository it is. Okay, I just used if I don't use a grep, right, I'll be getting a lot of information. I want information only related to the repository help, so these many options that I can. Okay, finally this is one way of doing the jfrog with the jfrog and Jenkins, and we publish then artifact through a Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so any questions guys before going ahead? Of course we don't go but ultimately the process is same. Tomorrow what we do is we would be discussing again the Maven. Of course we consumed most of the time with the jfrog only, so we would be talking about the mini project, and as well as we will be starting with the Terraform tomorrow. We will spend half an hour on the mini project. Like we will explain the architecture and then I'll show you the code and walk you through how to run and what are the things. And then finally, we will start the Terraform. Okay. From tomorrow onwards, most of the things would be a coding kind of thing. Don't get bored, but you have to be, but I'll tell you the way how I teach will make you interest. From my side at least, right? And if you ask me, if you see any of the video courses related to the Terraform, right, what will happen is uh, they will directly start. Of course, even I'll also start, but the way how I start coding, right, I'll open a notepad and then from scratch I'll start a line by line and then do. Okay, so this way I'll explain what is each term means and everything, how the syntax from line, how to compile from line 1, how to compile line 2 if we add line 2, line 3, or a particular snippet of code if we add, how to compile, what does it mean. So I'll start that way. Okay, don't worry about it. But it will be, Not only this Terraform, Ansible also looks like that. You have to just only the syntaxes you have to remember, nothing else. If you remember one or two syntaxes or one or two classes of the syntaxes, which we will discuss hardly 3 to 4 concepts, you will apply the same syntax concept in every way. If you work in any of the Terraform project, the syntax would be the same thing. Only like how do you import a provider, how do you import, how do write a resources, how do create a variables, how to access those variables in your Terraform files. If you know all these four, it will be common in every project, either single, I mean, either it is a small or bigger or medium size of project. Only just is how do you import your provider, how do you write your resource, how do you define data variables, how do you access those stuff. Of course there are other things, but these are the main basic. If you don't know how these four works, you can't learn other concepts. So this, if we focus on this, it will be easily understand. Okay, that's it guys from my side today. We just completed the jfrog, and then we will start the Terraform tomorrow. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be here for another 2 minutes if you want. If you have any questions, otherwise let's continue tomorrow itself.